The federal election campaign is officially underway, and we are hearing that this could be a campaign unlike one we have seen before, and that could be for many reasons. This election marks the first since the widespread rise of artificial intelligence, best known now as AI. Experts say we can expect AI to play a role in the campaign, from misinformation generated here at home and from other countries looking to interfere with our election. Plus, we could see campaign ads generated by AI as well. Joining us now with more on this is tech expert Carmi Levy. Good morning, Carmi.
Good morning, Stefan. Great to be with you.
Great to be with you as well, as we talk about the dangers of AI and artificial intelligence and the threat to democracy. What scares you the most?
I mean, what frightens me is just the ability to scale this. I mean, we've had this kind of threat before. Countries like China and Russia and Iran and North Korea have long used electronic tools to do their bidding, to try to compromise us, to gain access to our networks, to embarrass us, whatever it is. What artificial intelligence does is it layers over all of those historic efforts, and it allows them to do these activities at a greater scale, greater fidelity, target more victims, go after us, not just political parties and candidates, but actual Canadians at scale. And it basically means they cast a wider net, and it becomes harder for us as individuals, as Canadians, to tell the difference between what is legitimate and what is AI generated, which means we've got to really lean in over the next little while to make sure that we're comfortable with what we're seeing in our inboxes and our social media feeds, because artificial intelligence is raising it to a terrifying new level.
And foreign interference is also an interesting topic for many. I think when people first hear this blanket terminology, they really think there's all of this malintent, even from Canadian politicians. But as we learned through the federal inquiry, is that it could be something like an ad generated by a government abroad, and really trying to influence what we believe about a certain politician. And maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about their self-interest in all of this and getting involved in using AI for quote-unquote evil.
Sure thing. It's all about gaining advantage, and we're not looking for a big bang. We're looking for something a lot softer, as you said. So it will show up in our inbox as an ad that, maybe makes one of the federal leaders look like they did something embarrassing, casts them in a negative light, might attempt to shift voter sentiment one way or the other in a way that is to the advantage of the country that's behind this activity. So it isn't going to look like something spectacular. In fact, it's unspectacularness that makes it easy for us to overlook, not recognize it as a threat. And then, of course, because it's artificial intelligence, in many cases, that imagery will look terrifyingly real. Did Jagmeet Singh really say that? Unless you really lean in and look at the lips and sort of see if it's aligned with the audio, sometimes it's really hard to tell. And as we know, most of us aren't taking the time to really lean in. So it makes it easy for them to repeatedly hit us where we live in our digital space with these kinds of very soft messages, one after the other, until we reach a point where we literally can't tell the difference between truth and untruth. We don't know who to believe, which of course makes it even more difficult to make the right decision when we get into the ballot box.
Right, and we've certainly had colleagues here at CTV News that have been targeted and had their images used for malpurpose, if you will. So, you've taught us ways that we can recognize AI, watching the lip syncing, for example, but we also know that there should be a corporate responsibility as well, and Meta is allowing campaign advertising to use artificial intelligence, but there's supposed to be disclosure. Is that going to be enough, do you think?
No, it won't be. I mean, obviously, having a label in front of you saying this was AI generated is an important first step. But let's be clear, Meta has behaved in ways in recent months that suggest they're not going to be a viable corporate citizen, that they're getting out of the business of fact-checking, of content moderation, and handing that over to the community. So if they don't want to be standing over this content to verify its sourcing, verify its legitimacy, can we really trust them to make sure that everything that is AI generated has that label on it? I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg as far as I can throw him, and neither should anyone who's watching this today. And I think that really is the problem, is these companies, Meta and X and Google and others, have essentially gotten out of the business of ensuring that what we see is legit. And so I wouldn't trust them. That accountability, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, falls to us.
All right, Carmi, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll be calling on you again before this election day comes.
Appreciate it, Stefan. Thanks so much.
Take care.